Welcome, townies, to another Traitors in Salem video. Today, we are going to be making one of the best things in the world, a tier list. Now, this is going to be a pre-alpha tier list. When this goes up, there will be about a day, maybe two, until we get alpha released for Wave 2, where I'm getting invited with a bunch of my community members. But other than that, let's get into it. I have no idea other than what's been written. So, first off, we're going to be starting with the Arsonist. Now, the Arsonist can kill someone, but then also burn the body. I really like the idea of the Arsonist. Now, the question is, do I want to put it in S tier because I think it's going to be so good, or do I want to put it in A tier because I think it's going to be good but not that great, you know? Like, does it have that X factor? Now, I think it's going to be a really fun role. If I was just doing it purely based on fun, S. If I'm doing it based on, how I think it will perform, it's a low S, actually. I think it's going to be really strong because it has the ability to clear out a body by itself. Now, next up we have the Banshee. Now, I do have a screen up on the side where I'm going to be finding all the roles and all the things here, but I'll explain them as I go through them. Use your ability button to lock out all town members from using their abilities for a period of time. This is going to be a good role. I think a lot of the traitor roles are going to be really strong and really fun to think about here. But I think that A tier is a very solid place for the Banshee. You get to kill people and you get to lock everyone out of their abilities, which means you can deal with veterans, you can deal with saints. Is it saints? I think it's saints. You can deal with a lot of the town roles that are pesky when you are trying to kill them. Coming up next, we have the Coroner. Your ability to see how long a body is dead for. It's a good role if used correctly. However, I don't think it's going to be that fun because people are just going to report bodies and things like that, you know? Like, it's going to be alright. It's going to be really good if you play in, like, lobbies of really good players. But if you're just casually playing, yeah, it can have a varying effect, I think. I don't think that's, like, the best thing. Coming up next is the Cultist. It's actually a really interesting one. I don't remember if we've seen this being revealed in a video, but when they did the town of Traitors in Salem disguise a role reveal video, the very first one they did them, they actually released a lot of the information regarding all of their roles basically. The Cultist can use their ability to turn a town member into a traitor that keeps the town abilities. So, you could have a veteran that is a traitor, or you could have a mayor that is a traitor. I think low S. I think it's low A. I'm gonna say low A. The reason I think low A is like it doesn't. It is cool, but we've seen it before with other games, and like it's variance, right? You're not always gonna get the best. You're not always gonna get the worst. Sometimes it'll average out to being one way or the other. Coming up next, we have our original reveal, the Disguiser. Very simple role. I put it low C. Not exciting to me at all. Honestly, it's very simple to try and counteract, but like, you know, turn into someone, kill someone. Turn into someone, teleport. Turn into someone, do whatever. Not great, not bad. A little bit in between. That's sort of where I sit with that one. Next up, we have the Hex Master. Now, use your ability button to hex a player. When all living town members are hexed, they will all die. This is going to be our first B tier, I think. You still get to kill people, however you hex them as well. Now, I'm not sold as this to be like really strong. This is like Arsonist in Among Us, in those modded role lists, right? Where they have to douse everyone and then they can ignite. But like, you have a team this time, so maybe because you have the team, I think because you're on one faction with the Traitors, I think it actually moves itself up into A tier. But other than that, What have we got next? Looks like here we've got the Illusionist, which I think I've actually ordered these all pretty well for the video that I did. You can sample someone or inspect a player and then use your button again, will make them a copy of them run into the nearest teleporter. Now, I'm not exactly, 100% certain on how that'll look in most situations. I think you can sit on a B tier here, like just a solid roll. You always get a kill. Like a lot of these traitor rolls are going to be good because they can kill. Like they're just generally going to be baseline good. But like this is alright. This isn't like the best thing. It isn't the worst thing. As long as no one sees you create the illusion, then you're fine, right? Run into a building, say, oh, I followed this person out of the building. They teleported. Easy peasy. Alrighty, I don't know what happened there, but I'm going to explain again. Basically, Illusionist is going to sit in the B tier. Follow someone to a building. Say you see, well, don't follow someone. Sample someone, run into a building. Say you followed them out, and then boom, easy peasy, they ran into an elevator. I was going to say an elevator. It's not an elevator, it's a teleporter. Next up, we have the Inquisitor, I believe. Yes, the Inquisitor. Use your ability to discover a player's role. Very simple. Very easy to understand. Another B tier role. Maybe A tier. High B tier. High B tier, knowing someone's role is really good, but at the same time, not going to make that big of a difference where like getting rid of a reportable body or like role locking someone is going to be. Now, this one, like, there is going to be some variance in these. These are like personal opinions and how like fun I think these are going to be, but it's all going to come out in the wash. I think it's going to be a very very good role list, tier list, whatever you think. Investigator's coming up next. Using your ability button will tell if a player has killed someone recently. This one I have some reservations about. As a town member, like, how long is recently? Is my main question, right? Like, is it 10 seconds? Is it 30 seconds? Because if someone's killed 30 seconds ago, not that great, right? But like, if it's like within 10 seconds, it gets to be kind of good. But then also, like, it sees vigilantes and it sees veteran kills as well. So I mean, like, solid B tier roll, honestly, I think. Not amazing, not terrible. Meh. Now, here comes the first sort of one that I don't really like. I don't really like roles that sort of do this. The medium. Once lynched, you can reveal the role of a player to everyone. Now, two things happen here, right? The first thing I think is that you start a game, you get into a meeting, and someone says, I'm medium. Now, two ways you can look at it, just debate, or they're medium. Like, there's not going to be much else there. But having a role that requires you to die is not fun. Genuinely, I do not like the idea. I'm contemplating F tier just because I hate that having to die is a prerequisite for your role to work. And not only do you have to die here, you have to get lynched. And a lot of the time that's going to be seen as Jester bait, and because Jester is such a strong role, I think that medium is actually going to be a really weak role. Because you have to do some really weird shit. Excuse my French, but yeah, I'm not exactly sold on medium being a good role here. Now we have Mayor. Using your ability will reveal that you are the Mayor, making all of your votes count for 2. Votes counting for 2 can be really nice in the late game, but I don't like the idea of like you're able to get killed off in a corner. If you reveal to someone, or like that someone just sees you, they just follow you, dude. Like, you're done. Like, votes counting for 2 is cool and all, but it's not that great. Now, next up, we have the Lookout. Using your ability to increase your vision radius for a short time. I'm gonna put it above. I'm gonna put it above the Mayor. Still in D tier. A lot of the town rolls are gonna be in D tier in my opinion, just because you're gonna have more of them. But this is it's just increasing your vision radius for a small time, right? Like it's not that impressive. It's not that great. It's just it's there. Next up, we have the king. Use your ability to knight the highlighted player, causing their votes to count for 2. Now, I'm going to say this is actually slightly better, assuming, so this is going to be slightly better than the mayor, assuming that the player who is knighted is not outed. That if they're outed, like, I mean, it literally does not matter. The other thing is, if you die as the king, does the knight still keep 2 votes? I assume it would, but at the same time, little from line A, little from line B, you can't really tell until you've played the game, unfortunately. But I think they're around the same, but this is slightly higher because it does it to another player. Next up, we have the Jester. Now, I want to get the exact wording of this because this is really cool. Um, if you are hanged, one player who didn't vote innocent will die, and you'll be able to possess players for a short period of time and kill as them. Boom. I think this is going to be an incredibly fun role. Taking control of another player, unheard of. Like, actually, I think that's just a really, really fun role. It's going to suck for whoever gets possessed, but you as the Jester are going to have a lot of fun. Now, next up, we have the Seer. Um, use your ability to compare 2 players' factions to see if they are the same faction. Actually, first townie that's going above B tier, because that's really good to know. Because like that, like if you know that 2 people are on different teams, knowing that is just good. Knowledge is power in these types of games. I will always say that. The more you know, the stronger you are, the better you can do. Next up, the Saint. Again, when you are killed, you will cause the Traitor's abilities to be locked out for a period of time. Now, we're going back to F tier. Um, it's better than medium because it's when you're killed, so you might be able to do something with that. But like, when you are killed is such a poor like gaming mechanism because you can't do anything afterwards. It's such an unsatisfying way to use your abilities. Like when you die, you stop having an effect on the game. You have a mild effect very briefly, and then you're done. I don't like it. It's not my thing. I don't think that's a fun game mechanic, unfortunately. Okay, next up we have the Psychic. You will be told when a player dies anywhere on the map. We're gonna slot it. Ooh. I think this is gonna be one of the really, really strong townies, actually. I think this is gonna be incredibly strong as a townie. Knowing when someone dies is effectively a coroner, but you don't have to find the body. You don't have to risk anyone, like, literally you do the same thing. Like, the coroner gets the timer given to them, like, oh, I found a body, it died 12 seconds ago. But the psychic just goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They just count the 12 seconds, and it's the same thing effectively. It's just the coroner is worse. It's just worse. Alrighty. Next up, we have the prosecutor. Now, we are getting into some of the more juicy roles here, actually. Prosecutor. Use your ability to force a player onto the stand to defend themselves. Strong clutch potential with this role, but you have to have substantiating evidence, right? You don't get to instantly hang someone. You're not a vigilante that just kills someone. You vote them up. You need the town to like respect that and work with you to hang them. However, it does have strong clutch potential. You use your ability as soon as you're out of a meeting to save the game or something like that. Good role, not great, but I like it. Sheriff. Now, if you've ever played Town of Salem, you'll know that Sheriff is buns. Absolutely terrible. However, moving to Traitors in Salem, Sheriff is going to be really, really cool. It's going to be use your ability button to investigate the highlighted player to learn if they are good or evil. It is literally just yes or no. Role confirmation is OP. It always has been in Town of Salem, and I imagine it always will be in Traitors in Salem. Now, very simple answer to that one. Moving along, we have, I believe the Vigilante doesn't, yeah. Use your kill button to kill the highlighted player. Now, I do believe that Vigilante works the same way as it used to in Town of Salem, where if you kill a town member, you die. I do believe that is the case. So I still believe that it's a very strong role, but I believe it's going to be misused by a lot of people because they can't get the correct information. So I'm going to put it as a high C tier, but that's just because of my like perception of how it'll be used, not by how like fun it'll be. Some of these are more judged on fun, and some of these are more judged on like usability, and sometimes they're judged on both. Looking at you, F tier. Now, next up, Big Chef Executioner. Now, witness a target hanging. No, witness a hanging, then select a target. If your target is hung, then one player who didn't vote innocent will die. So one player who abstained or guilty will die, and you can choose another target. If your target is killed by a player, you can choose a new target. The interesting thing about the executioner here is that you get to choose your target. You don't have to get them hung. So, high B tier actually. I think it's going to be quite fun because like you still go for that like I want to get you hung type of thing, but you don't automatically miss out on a win because your target randomly got killed, you know, at XYZ time or something like that. But like, I think it's going to be a fun role, high B tier, really good. You still get to kill people as well. Like that's the other thing. You still get to stab people. Like how good? You get to stab people and you want to hang people. Like brilliant stuff. Next up, we have a really really funny one, the Necromancer. To me, this is like just the pinnacle of how fun the roles can be, where the Necromancer uses their kill button to summon a minion to kill their target. Now, the the thing about the minion, like the thing that makes it interesting, is the minion spawns at the graveyard. So there is a set location on the map where this minion will spawn, and it will run your target down, and it will get faster and faster while doing it. So I'm just imagining summoning a skeleton from the graveyard while you're across the other side of the map, and then someone just watches the skeleton zip past them in the middle. You know, it's really funny. And then they're just gonna like try and run away from it, and you know they're not gonna be able to outrun it because it gets faster, right? So it's a rig. Okay, if we think about it in usability terms, actually probably one of the worst killing roles in the game. Like if I was basing it purely off of playability and not how fun I think it is, this would be a very low tier role because it's not an instant kill, which is kind of cool but also kind of not. But like, I suppose that is the shtick actually. Like thinking about it, it's actually pretty good. Uh, but I really like the idea. I'm putting it in S tier because I thought about the delayed kill thing and just realized that what I said was relatively stupid. But also, I think the idea is really, really funny. I'll put it below Arsonist because I think Arsonist is just bonkers, and so is Jester. But for fun factor, probably one of my favorite roles. Now, coming up next, we do have. Oh god, no, they've shown me Hexmaster again. I need. Poisoner? I believe this is Poisoner. I'm very interested because I thought I seen this one earlier. I do believe this is the Poisoner. Um, just for the sheer sake that oh, that's what I was looking at. This is the Poisoner. This one here. So the Poisoner uses their kill button on someone, and then 10 seconds later their target will die. Now, there is a lot of top-sided sort of traitor rolls up here. It's not going in the S tier, but it's not going in D tier or below. C tier, probably not either. The delayed kills, like I think a lot of these rolls are going to be really fun. I like the idea of Poisoner. I'm gonna pop it just above Hexmaster though. Just because Hexmaster can be a little bit hit and miss. Serial Killer, very strong roll. I think top of A tier is a very good spot for it. You effectively counter people running around in pairs because you're able to kill once and then kill twice, right? Like, I know I was reading out the things before, but I don't have them in front of me anymore, unfortunately. That video ran out of things, so the Poisoner and the Serial Killer are off the cuff, off the top of my head there. So, the Serial Killer can kill someone and then in quick succession can kill a second person, which is really cool because you get to deal with those people that will constantly group up together and, you know, play together. And that's a nice thing, to be able to get rid of those people. Now, we have the Wildling. This is what this one's called. This one is the town, sorry, not the town, the traitor version of a lookout. However, you don't need to, like, you increase your vision, but you also get to see like through objects, which is much stronger than what the lookout can do. So I think I'm actually going to put it C tier. Like, it's not insane by traitor standards. By traitor standards, it's meh. There's a lot more things that are fun other than that, but meh. I don't know. I don't know where else to put it. I think B tier would be a bit too generous. Now the Wraith, I just watched this video and I'm not certain what it does, unfortunately. I know it goes invisible. I don't know if it goes invisible by the use of a button or by the use of killing and then they go invisible because they're killed. Either way, you can go invisible basically directly after you kill. That's good enough for me to put it in B tier. Next up, we have the Tracker. This is probably going to be my favorite town roll. I think I would put it in S tier for concept. However, the concept cannot outweigh the fact that this roll can get screwed by literally everyone else. And by that I mean you can find a body, you can track the body, and then you can be running towards who you're tracking, and the body gets reported, and you're just sad. I'm gonna put it above Cultist, but I'm gonna leave it below Banshee. I think I really like the idea. I really like the concept, and I love like the art they've done for it. But unfortunately, like I couldn't justify putting it higher just purely based on the fact that you can get screwed over by anyone just running up to a body and going, "Oh, report it." Um, I actually don't know about the transporter. I should know, but I can't remember it. So unfortunately, that one has to go in the unknown or too hard to tell tier. Um, just because I don't know. Unfortunately, I didn't do my research well enough. Apparently, I forgot to check on the transporter. Next up, we have the veteran. It'll sit beside its vigilante brother. Unfortunately, you have to just be really lucky or really good to know that you're going to get killed. Like, because what the veteran does is, um, its ability is to, for a short period of time, not die to an attack, but kill the attacker. So I think the time is about 2 or 3 seconds. So you have a very small window where you need to counteract someone trying to kill you. It is a very skill intensive or very lucky ability, and I think it'd be really fun once you get good at it. But for the first 100 hours of the game, I don't think it's going to be that fun, unfortunately. Now we do have 2 roles left, but if you've been paying attention, we sort of know what they are. They are both F tier roles. They are the regular townie role, and they are the regular traitor role. Now, they just don't have abilities. They're not going to be fun. I'm going to probably ban them in every single game that I play, unless I want to like experiment with something. Um, But yeah, no. Other than that, I do think there are going to be a lot of fun roles in this game. Um, but Traitor and Tally are not one of them, unfortunately. But yeah, other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed. I do apologize about the headset issues. I think I had to cut out twice or three times there. Um, but we got there in the end. Just please remember that this is personal opinion. I haven't touched the game before. Like, I'm really excited for it, and I really want to see it out, but I have not played the game. I will update this when I have my hands on it. It's going to be 2 days. 2 days, I'll have my first hands on it. I'll be streaming it live over on my Twitch channel. Make sure you check that link out in the description. I'll be talking about it in my Discord channel. Make sure you check out the Discord in the description. I'll probably be tweeting about it for God's sake. Like, just check out all the stuff in the description. It's all popping off down there. But anyway, thank you guys for coming back to your one-stop shop for all things Traitors in Salem, and I will see you all next time.